So now let's talk about what the HTTP done, or what is the work of HTTP. So we said HTTP is a data communication between the server and the client, between the server side and the client side. So we said, what is the client side? Client side is whatever user can see in the website. So all these are the client side. Okay, the client side, what the user can see. There is a server side. That means what the user can see. So for example, this is the client. He filled this form, he submit the form, but the client doesn't know where his information go, because he sent the information. Where does this information go? How this information gone from here? So this is called, the information will go to the server, which means to the PHP will handle this information. So this is the HTML form. When the user fill this HTML form, he submit, this data will go to the PHP. The PHP will validate the data. That means it will check the data. If it is correct, it will store to the database. If the information of the user is incorrect, it will return error message to the client side. So you can see this error message. So this error message is now coming from the server, and it is returning to the client side. So what is the work of HTTP? The HTTP is between these two, the client and the server. So the HTTP will take the information from the client side. Whenever the user fill the form, the HTTP will take this and will send to the server. It will send to the PHP. PHP will handle this information. If there is any error, it will return again. The HTTP will take that information again from the server, and it will display to the client side. So the work of HTTP is the data communication. It is the communication between the server and the client. It will take the data from the client, it will send to the server, it will receive data from the server, it will display on the client. So do you understand the work of HTTP? So it is between these two, client and server. Do you understand, sir? Sure. So it is the communication between these two. It will take data from client, store to the server, receive data from server, display in here. So how this work? So let me show you one actual example. Let's fill this form. Let's set our name is, for example, test. So we have email. Let's set. We have here our phone number. We have here our details. So now I'm the client, right? I don't know the server. This is my site. So when I submit the form, where is my data? There is no data. The form is clear. So now my data, in a second, my data taken by the HTTP, it's sent to the server. At the moment, the server return a response. So this you can see, this response is coming from the server. Thank you for your content. Your message has been sent successfully. So this message is coming from the server. Who take this message from the server? The HTTP take this message from the server, and it is displayed in my client side. So this is the work of HTTP. Do you understand? So there is HTTPS, which is the secure way. So what is the difference? Both works the same. HTTP takes the information, receive information. HTTPS is the same. It takes information and it receive information. So the difference is that the security, how my information will go from the client and it will store to the server, and how that how the information will receive from the server display in the client. So we need security because we are taking personal information. For example, we have login registration. I'm writing there my username, password. So this I need security. So when you are using HTTP, all your data, whenever you fill a form, all your data will come into the URL. This, for example, I write your name, my name will become here. So it will be like this, name test. So every information I fill here, I can read from the header. So this time my information is not secure because everyone can see from the header. Everything I write here I can see from the header. So this time my information is not secure. That means I'm using HTTP. Whenever we are using HTTPS, our data will go to the server in secure way. That means no one can see. It will go to the server in secure way. So that's only the difference. The security, how the information will go from the client to the server. What is the security? So whenever you are a developer, you have to check what is the method you are using. Is your method HTTP or your method HTTPS? We will learn how we can create that security. And also you can now, if the website is secure or not, before you fill your personal information into this website, you can check if this website is secure or not. How you can check? There's that icon there, so you can see here this connection is secure. That means this website gives HTTPS, so I can fill my information and I can send, no problem, because it's using HTTPS. And also we can now from here, you can see this HTTPS. How about if this website uses HTTP? So you can see there, not secure. So that means if I fill my information for this website, my information is not secure. So you can now from there. And also we learn in the PHP, in the backend, how we can create security, how we can make the form in our website or the content in our website secure. So we'll learn the backend. Okay, so that's the HTTP and the HTTPS. I hope you understand this concept. Okay, you can ask me.
In every website there is two different kind of URL, HTTP and HTTPS.
Yes.
If I go any kind of website,
Yes.
Which is contain HTTP, if I type HTTPS and that the URL, is that a secure website?
No. This is just you are changing, but if you go to other browser, it's not the same. It will be HTTP. So you just change the URL, but it will not work. So the developer will do this. The developer will do. If the developer make the website secure, then it will automatically be secure. So there's another concept which is W3C, which means Worldwide Web Consortium. This is organization. So this organization has started how to develop the website, maybe in 1991 to 1994. So this is the organization that have started the web. So we don't need much information about it. You can search from Google. It is just organization information. So what is URL? Uniform Resource Locator. This is a bit important. So URL means how we can navigate or how we can access different web pages. So for example, I have already explained. For example, we are now in the home page. So whatever comes after the domain is the URL or the path of the content. You can write here the path of the content that you are searching in this. For example, now if you go to the about, so you can see we get a URL path, about /about. This /about is the URL, the Uniform Resource Locator. So when we need to access different content in the same website, we need to write the path of the URL. In the URL, we need to write the path of that content. That means if I need to go to the contact page, I can write here contact. So this contact means I'm now navigating or I'm now accessing the contact page. So this is the URL that I need to navigate in order to go to that page. So this is the URL. So whenever you are doing a website, you will create different web pages. So when you need to connect these different web pages, you have to use the URL or the path or the location of that content. For example, let's set if there is any image in the website, you can access from the header or you can download that image. So mostly you will see the URL in the header of the website, or the URL means the path of the content that you need to access or that you need to navigate. So there is FTP, which means file transfer protocol. We said already, we have explained what's website. We said website is collection of web page that have same domain name and hosted from same server. So this FTP we will use when we have done our project in our local computer. For example, this is now my website. I have done this website in my local computer. Now I need to transfer this website into my hosting. So I buy domain hosting. So I need to transfer this file to my hosting. So at this time I need to use this FTP in order to transfer my my project from my local computer to my hosting. So this time you can use this FTP, this application. So we can learn this after we've done the course. That there's a topic that you will learn domain and hosting. So we can learn from there. So what is CMS? CMS means content management system. If you are familiar with WordPress, is there anyone who know WordPress? Shopify? No. So this CMS means content management system. So now we are learning web design development, but we need to use coding. There is another way that you can do a website without writing code, which is like WordPress. You can use WordPress. So this CMS means content management system. The client or the website owner doesn't need to know more knowledge about the web. He can drag and drop and he can do complete website. Less time. So this content management system means is another way that we can create or we manage our website by not using technology or any code. So you can learn, if you need to become content management system, you can learn WordPress or you can learn Shopify, that other technologies. But this is not our concept. We need to work by coding. Okay, we don't need to use content management system. We don't need to use drag and drop. So there is SEO, which means search engine optimization. So search engine optimization means in a way that we can rank our website. So we have done our project, we have transferred our project to our server. So that means now the user can see our website to the Google, but whenever we search the website name, it will not become the first page. For example, now I search Kaizen IT. So as you can see now, this website comes first, but there is another Kaizen. Okay, another Kaizen, but this website comes first. Why? Because it has SEO. So if your website has SEO, it will rank the first page of the Google. Whenever the user search your name, it will become the first. So for example, if I just search now only Kaizen, maybe this website will not become first. There is another website. Why? Because this website have more SEO than the Kaizen. The more you add the SEO or you manage your SEO, is the more you rank your website in the Google. So there's so many ways that you can do the SEO. Actually, it's a different course. It's not, if you are web developer, you have to know some concepts. But there is another people who work as SEO developer. You already saw maybe. There's some other developer who work as SEO. So this is not your work. Your work is to develop the website. To rank this website is another part, another category. So it's better for you to learn. You can take both the work together. or you can just focus the web. It's a different category. So that's the SEO. So that's all the basic concept of the web technologies. I hope you understand. We have talked about HTTP, HTTPS, W3C, URL, FTP, CMS, SEO. This is the basic concept on web technology. And also we have already talked about what is website, different types of websites. So this is the introduction about the course. Now we will start the course. So let's start the web design tools. That means what are the tools we need to use in order to write code and to run the code and to see our project. So what are the tools we need and what is the importance? So when we are talking about the tools, we need two tools for now. So we'll start from the designing. So for web design, we need now only two tools. One is called editor, another one is called browser. So the editor, we will write the code. For the browser, we will see our result. So that's two. Why we use browser? Because we are building a website. So whenever we need to access a website, we must have a browser. Either it can be Google Chrome, Firefox, Google Edge. It can be different browsers. But it is must. We need a browser because we are working a website. The second tool is the EDA or text editor or the code editor. So for code editor is where we can write our code. So we can use different code editor. There's Sublime Text, there's Notepad, even this is the Notepad. We can write a code. We can use Notepad, Notepad++, Sublime Text, Visual Studio, and there are so many code editors. But for this course, we will use Visual Studio Code, VS Code, okay, which have more features than the other, and it's totally free. There are some other code editor you have to pay, but this VS Code is totally free and it has more features for the web design. And the browser we will use in this course will be Google Chrome. Easy, everyone have that. Yeah, it's code editor and it's basic. We will explain everything about the code. So you can download these tools. First of all, you have to download Google Chrome. I think you already have in your computers. Now you need to download VS Code. So we'll start our work. So you have to search Visual Studio Code and you have to download it. So you have to download for Windows if you are using Windows, or you can download Mac or Linux. So I've already downloaded VS Code into my local computer, so I don't need now. So you can download it now. Check the computer. If you don't have, okay, that is good. So if anyone doesn't have this, you have to download it, please. You can go to this website, visualstudiocode.com or visualstudio.com. Hello online students, Zaima, Afrin, Moria, Misty, can you hear me please?
Yes sir.
Okay, so so first of all, do you understand about the basic concept, or you have joined the class now? So let's continue our class. So we said the web design tools that we need is Visual Studio Code and Google Chrome, web browser and code editor. That too. So we have already downloaded the Visual Studio Code and we have already Google Chrome. We already have Google Chrome. So now let's start by creating HTML file. We'll start off first language. So let's first of all talk what's HTML. HTML is hypertext markup language. It's not a programming language. It's a markup language. That means it's very easy. If you learn one time, you can use every time. That means it's not a language that needs logic. So you can what I can say, you don't need to think about it more. If you learn one time, you can remember every time. Because for example, now you have a name. Do you forget your name? No. My name, you heard my name now, Mohammed Noor. Can you forget next time? No. It's like that. We will learn something called tag and attributes. If you learn one time what is this tag and what is the purpose I need this tag, then you will not forget about this. For example, there is I need to include a image, or I need to display image in my website. So one time I learned how I can display or how I can include image into my website. Can I forget that another time? No, because it doesn't need a logic. I have learned one time, I can remember it, but it's not a logic. So that's why we can say it's a markup language. And what is the importance of HTML? HTML is one of the most important language in the web. Without HTML, you can't do website. You can do website by using content management system, the thing we have discussed already, WordPress or Shopify or something like that. But if you need to write a code without HTML, you can't build a website. That means HTML, people said HTML is the mother language of web development. It is the base of web development. For example, you need to build a house. Before you build a house, you have to build the base, right? So that's HTML. And HTML is the structure of the website. For example, let me give you a real example. Now this is the website. First of all, before using any other language, this website is built with HTML. How? In order to add this video, it's HTML. For this button, it's HTML. For this text, it's HTML. So everything is HTML, but the design has been changed. For example, the default bottom of HTML is black. So we have changed the color of that bottom to our custom color. So this time, first of all, we have the structure, then we have customized our structure by using CSS or any other thing. But the structure is the HTML. Before we do anything else, we have to build the HTML. So I think you understand what is HTML. There is HTML5, which is the updated version of the HTML, the last updated version of the HTML. We will learn some new features. What are the new features of the HTML5? We will learn some meta tags like audio, video, Canva, SVG, we can say navbar, we can main section. There are so many new features that contain with the HTML5. So we'll discuss that in the course. So you understand what's HTML, what's HTML5. So now let's start. First of all, how we can create HTML file. So in order to create any other language, we need something called file extension. So this. If we need to create HTML file, we need different file extension. If we need to create CSS file, we need file extension. If we need to create JavaScript file, we need file extension. If we need to create PHP file, we need file extension. So each language have different file extension. So what this extension is? This extension will define what type of this file. For example, for the basic computer, if I need to create text file in my computer, I can set right click, we can create new. So for this new, we have different options. I can create here Word file, I can create PowerPoint file, I can create this also Word file, I can create text document, I can create Excel file. So each file has different file extension. For example, if I said now I'll create text file, so you can see here we have .txt. So this .txt is called file extension. So this file extension is now defining what type of this file. So if you check there, type, what is the type of this file? Text document. So what is the type of this file? It's a document. So the file extension will define what type of this file is. So if I need to create HTML file, we will create the same way, in the same way that we have created the text file. So let's set now, let's delete this one. I need to create now HTML file. So we can create the same as the text document. So we have to, you can go any location in your computer. You can set right click, new, then text document. Right click, new, text document. Then you have to give a name for your file. You have to give a name for your file. So this file is the web page that you need to build. So we have already discussed, we need to, in order to create a website, we need to build different web pages. So this file name will define what type of this web page is. For example, I'm now creating about page, so I've said about. If I need to create contact page, I've said contact. So let's just set now, we need to create our first website. So we can set first website. So this is our file name. Then we have here our extension. Now our extension is .txt. So let's remove this because we need to create HTML file. So our extension will be .html. These are file extensions. Then you can set enter. Then you have set yes. So now you can see the design of this file has been changed. So now what is the type of this file? So as you can see here, when I hover the file, I get the type. The type of this file is HTML document. Okay, this file type is HTML document. So please, we can do practice later on. Listen the class first. So this is the file of HTML file. You can do practice later on. I will give you a time. First listen. When I have done, then you can do practice. I will give you a time. So now this is our HTML file. So what I need to do now, as we already said, whenever we create a file, then now we need to write a code and we need to run in order to see our result. So we have already said for the design we need two tools, the code editor and the browser. So now we have created the file. We need to open this file in our code editor and also we need to run this file. So what we can do, we can open this file to our code editor. So what we can go to our code editor, we can search Visual Studio Code. So this is, so we can open this file. Now this is our code editor. So now this is our code editor. Now we need to open our HTML file into our code editor. So we can click there, we can go to file, we can open file, and then we can search our file. So we have created our file in the desktop. So we can go to the desktop, we can search our file. So this was our file, first website.html. So we can click this file and we can open it. So now we have opened our HTML file in our code editor. Then what we need to do, we need also to open our HTML file in our web browser. So we can go to the file, we can right click the file and we can open with our browser. which we are using now, Google Chrome. So click that one. So this is now our website, first website.html. So this is the basic, how we can create HTML file, how we can open our file to our code editor, and how we can run our HTML file. So do you understand? So now the next step is we need to write a code in our HTML file, and then we need to see the result in our browser. So now how we can write the code in this file? So as this is HTML file, we need to write here HTML code. We need to write here HTML code. So now let's write some basic. So this is one tag which is called h1. So we'll learn this later, but now, for example, this is now HTML code. So we write some text. We said hello there. So whenever you write a code in your HTML file, in your code editor, you have to save. You have to set Ctrl S. So that means my file is safe. Then now we can run our file. This is our file. Right click, open with your Google Chrome. So if I open now, so you can see this is the text I write in my code. Now we get the text in our website. This text is coming from my code editor. So if I write here something else, so let's say we need to write here some text. So let's search here. So whenever you write a code in our HTML file, if you are using Visual Studio Code, you will see there a white dot on the top of the file, on the right of the file name. So what this dot means? This means your file is not safe. So without saving our file, if you go to browser, we will not get any result. So in order to see this result in our browser, we need to set Ctrl S. So that means now our file is safe. White button is gone. So if I go to my browser now, I need to refresh because we have added new content. So we need to refresh. If I refresh now, so the text will come. So this is the basic. Do you understand? Create HTML file. Now your work is we have done the basic. Your work is create HTML file, write some HTML code, and run that file. You can try now. You have 3 minutes time. that.
Okay.
This is the next story.
Okay.
Don't go fast. So you know how to you learn how to create HTML file, how to run that, just there. What we need. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have done practice.
I practice
It's already
long ago. Since 10 years. I already forgot everything.
For sure.
I have to change my computer first.
So now we have done the assignment of the first module, which is how we can create HTML file and how we can run basic. Then next is, this is the next module, which is how we can write HTML syntax. So this syntax means the structure of our HTML. So before writing any HTML code, first of all we need the structure, the structure of this HTML. Okay, we need something called syntax. So what is the syntax of HTML? First of all, the first type syntax is called doc type. So this means the document type and is the updated version of the HTML. So we need to tell the browser. So this is our browser. This is our browser. Okay, we need to tell this browser that this document type is HTML. Okay, we are telling the browser that this type is HTML. Then we need to write here another tag. So actually this is called tag. So this is another tag which means HTML. So that means now we have opening and closing tag. So there are two types of tags: double tag, single tag. So we'll learn later on. There are some HTML tags that have only opening. That means some element doesn't have closing. For example, only HTML. This is a tag. We can call like this.
But this is not a closed tag.
Yeah, this is single tag. And there is another tag which have opening and closing tag, which means double tag. So there are two different tags: single tag and double tag. Single tag is the tag that has only opening. The double tag is the tag that has opening and closing. That means in between this opening and closing, I can write something. So now, what is this tag? This tag is HTML. That we are saying inside this HTML, I need to write HTML code. So whatever comes inside this HTML is HTML code. First of all, we have write one tag which is doc type HTML. So this is, we are telling the browser that we need to use HTML document which version is HTML5. Okay, this is defining. We need to, this document is HTML which is HTML5. Then we have another tag which is HTML, opening and closing. So this HTML is defined, or will define that between these two tags I need to write HTML code. So whatever comes inside here now is HTML code. So for our website we will divide in two parts. So this is now our document, okay? This is our document. So we'll divide this document two parts: the heading part of the website and the body part of the website. So this is called the heading part, where we can write our website name, our website logo, and some other extra. And this is the website body. That means the website body is the most important. Whatever you write inside the body is what the user can see from your website. So we said we divide the website two parts: head, body. So this is our HTML tag. Inside this HTML tag we need to divide our website in two parts: the head part, which is the first one, and the body part. Both are double tags. Both are double tags. It has opening and closing. So this is the first part of my website, which is the head part, and this is the body, the second part of my website, which is the body. So these two parts, this is the head and this is the body. So that means between the opening and closing of the head tag, whatever I write inside here, I can see this result in the heading part of the website. So for example, let's write one tag which called title. So let's set for example Kaizen. This is our website name. Okay, so we write this tag inside the head tag, right, where we will see our result. We will see our result in the heading part. So if I refresh now, so you can see Kaizen. So this is coming from the head part, and this is our body part. So don't worry about this, I'll explain this later. Just we are explaining now the head. Now this is the body. So we said whatever we write inside the body tag is what we can see in the website, in the main part of the website. So let's write here something now. Let's write h1, heading 1, and let's write something. Let's say this is Kaizen. So if I save that, every time don't forget to save your code. Whenever you save, go to your browser and refresh it. So you can see we get this text from the body tag, inside the body tag. So this text is coming from the body tag. That is why we see it in here. So if you need to write something in the document, you can write in your body tag. If you need to display something in the head tag, you can write in your head tag. So that is the two parts of your document or your HTML. So now this complete is called the HTML syntax. The HTML syntax. First of all, we have defined the document, that we said this document type is HTML, and we write HTML tag. That means whatever comes inside this HTML tag is HTML code. So all these are HTML code, and all these are now inside the HTML tag. So this is the opening of the HTML and this is the closing of the HTML. So between that we have HTML code. So all these are HTML code. We can write there anything we need. Then we have divided our HTML into two parts, a heading part and the body part. So we said whatever we write inside the head part is what we can see in the website header, and whatever we write inside the body tag is what we can see inside the body of the website. So this is the HTML syntax. So now one of the benefits that we need to use for the Visual Studio Code is we can write the HTML code, we can get the HTML syntax without writing a code. So now we are writing this syntax one by one, but without writing the code, we can get the HTML syntax only if you are using the Visual Studio Code editor. So how we can get? You can use Shift+1. You will get this exclamation mark. So if you set enter, then you will get the HTML syntax complete. So here you have the document type, the HTML. So inside the HTML you can use this attribute, which means language. So the language you need to write your website. So you can use language English. So then the head tag and the body tag. So you can get the HTML syntax by just using shortcut. What is the shortcut? Shift+1. So if you need to save time, you can use this shortcut. But as beginner, we are now beginner, okay? Don't use this. Write everything from the scratch, because you need to practice, okay? Don't use this. So now this is our HTML syntax. So now what is the next? So during the HTML course, we will learn two things: tag and attribute, or we can say element and attribute. So what is the element? We can say this is element, this is element, this is element, this element, this element. All these are HTML elements, or we can set HTML tags, okay? And there's another thing which called HTML attributes. So what is the attribute? There are some elements, some HTML elements that doesn't work without attributes. For example, we need to display image into our browser, or we need to add image for our website. So in order to add image, we can use the img tag. Set the img tag. So this is single tag, HTML tag, so we can't see any image into our website. We will not see any image. So that means now this tag doesn't work without attributes. So what is the attribute? Attribute will define what is this element. The work of attribute is the attribute will define or will change the behavior of the element. So we have near image. So this doesn't work without this attribute src. So this is called attribute. So first of all, you write the attribute name, and then you'll use the assignment operator, or you can set equal sign, and then quotation mark, double quotation mark. So here this src is now called HTML attribute. So there's some elements that doesn't work with attribute, so we'll explain later. But now the importance is, during this course we will learn two HTML things: HTML tag and HTML attributes. Tag is what we need to display in the website. Attribute will change the behavior of the elements. That's the two things. Okay?
What is this?
Attribute. Attribute, yes. So this is maybe, let's set, this is the attributes, HTML attributes. So that is the two things that we will focus: HTML tag and HTML attributes. So now let's set, whenever we need to build a website, everything that we need to display in the website we will write in the body tag. So inside this body tag we can write more HTML elements. For example, we need to write, first of all, we can write here title like this. We can write title, we can write text, we can use bottom, we can use video. So all these are now inside the body tag. So we will focus to write code inside this body tag. Okay, so but for now we just need to focus the syntax, because every day whenever you create HTML file, you need to write HTML syntax inside that file. For example, now I need to create another file. We can set now I need to create a web page, about page. For example, I said about.html. So this is now new file. So if I need to open this file in my code editor, what I can do, we can go to our code editor, we can click there, we can set file, we can click the file, and we can set open file. So let's open our file. Now our file is inside the desktop direction. So we can click the desktop and we can see it our file. So this is our file, about.html. So click that file and set open. So now this is our HTML file. So we need to write HTML code inside here. What is our first step? Anyone can tell me? We have created HTML file, then we need to write a HTML code. So what do we need to do? First of all, we need HTML syntax. Syntax means the information or the code or the structure of the HTML. So we need to write the structure. Then inside that structure, we know already where we need to write the code. If we need to display something in the body, then we can write the code in the body. If we need to display something in the head, then we can write something in the head. But before that, we need to write the structure. So whenever we create HTML file, we need to write the structure. So how we can start the structure? We will start the structure first of all defining the document type. So we have set greater than exclamation mark doc type. This is document type. Then we can set this document type is HTML. So first of all, define the document type. And this is the updated version of the HTML, HTML5. Then after that, we need to set here, we need to write HTML code. So first of all, we need the structure. So we need to set here greater than HTML less than. So the Visual Studio will automatically close, but if you don't get that, you have to close by yourself. So you have to set greater than /HTML. So it will automatically close the Visual Studio code. But if you are using another editor, so you have to write by yourself. So that is the HTML. So inside this HTML now, we need to write the structure of the website, the two parts of the website, the head part and the body part. So first of all, we need to write the head part, and then we need to write the body part. Okay, then inside the head part, we can use the HTML tag which is called title. Title means when you need to write the title of the page. For example, now we can set here, we have a title. We can set this is Kaizen about. That means the same name for Kaizen. For example, this is now our home page. This is Kaizen. But the other file, we need to set this is about. This is the about page. So this title means the name of our website. So when we done this, we need to save our file. So what we can do, we can set Ctrl S, save the file. Then we need to run this file. So we have to go to the file, we have to click, right click, open with Google Chrome or any other browser that you need to use. So open the Google Chrome. So now this is our second file, which is Kaizen about. So if I need to write something, here, or if I need to display something here, then where I need to write my HTML code? Anyone can tell me? No. So we have written something on the head. So now I need to display something. For example, I need to write some content. Where I need to write in the body tag. So I have to go to the body tag, and I have to write here my HTML code. So for example, I need to write the title of the website, so we can use the heading one, which is the title. So just let's write some text. So then what I need to do, I need to save my file. Control S, then go to the browser, refresh it. So we get this text in the board. So this is all the basic. Does anyone have a question about this? Do you understand? So this is the basic. So now we will start what we have already said. We said we will divide the HTML in two parts: HTML tags and HTML attributes. So we'll learn first of all the tags, the most important HTML tags. So HTML has more tags, but we will learn in the class the most important. As I have already said, you have to search more from other source. You can search from YouTube or from Google. But in the class, we will focus only the main important. So for HTML, we will learn the main HTML tags and attributes. So you can search all other from other source, but we will try the best. Okay. So before we start this is the basic. So we can stop today here because we are just beginner. If we just said we will start tags and attributes, then it will get confused. Just we will stop here today. You can practice how to create HTML file, how to run your file, how to run HTML syntax. These are the 3 things we learned today. Do you have any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
In the display, the module 2.
This module 2.
Under the module 2, HTML syntax.
This.
And the best practices. This is the head.
This is the head, H1.
If I write this in the
website,
I use
it will be like this, H1. So we will learn, don't worry. This is the HTML headings, heading tags. So we learn more heading tags, not only one, not only H1. So we learn more heading tags. There's 6 headings. We will learn in the next class. So do you have any other question about today's class? How to create HTML file, how to run HTML file, how to write the HTML syntax. That is the only 3 things we learned today. And all the other are concepts. What's website, types of website, HTTP, HTTPS, URL, like that. Just concept. But the main thing for our class, we have learned 3 things: how to create HTML file, how to run it, and how to write the code, the syntax. That's it. So what about Maria Misty? Do you have any question about today's class?
Sir, where I can get this record class?
Oh, so we will create a Google Classroom. I will send the link to your WhatsApp group. Then you can join from there and you can watch the class video there.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
It will be better if you join the offline class because there are more students. The online is very complicated, but no problem. You can do your online, but you have to follow the class. You have to ask question in the class. You have to listen to the class and you have to do the practice in the class. Okay? We have already done practice today, so I don't know if you have done that practice or not. So you have to follow and you have to ask me a question.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. So that's all our class today. We will continue the class in the next day, next Sunday, inshallah.